I have two choices: fight goblins or bring together everyone in the highlands, all these bandits and these crazy people in this temple to the north. Which one do we want to do? And I have decided that for our next mission in this campaign, we are going to unify the highlands. So let's see what that involves. You've decided to do your part to deliver the violent and poverty-stricken highlands from chaos by establishing ties with powerful figures in the settlements of the north. Those being, I guess the Watchtower is ultimately going to be one, the bandit camp, and of course Pigskin Port. Let's see, the party must rest at a town in the highlands, while the town level is 2 or more at every settlement. We don't even have to place clue tokens. It seems like it expects us to remember. Oh, we will place clue tokens depending on which quests we roll. So, doing your part in this rough country of cutthroats and hot-tempered Highlanders, you'll need to be willing to work hard to win allies. Roll 1 orange die and 1 purple die to establish what jobs are available that may help you reduce danger levels throughout the Highlands. All right, so the issue here, we're fine in Pigskin Port. Everything has to be at least a 2 town level, not danger level. So basically this has to raise the danger, well, lower the danger level 4 times, lower the danger level 4 times. Now, we can do that by throwing a lot of money at the problem. We will be doing some of that, but we also are going to roll an orange, look, it's really yellow, and a purple die, and then we're going to look up on this list of multiple quests what we can do to also raise those town levels or lower those danger levels. All right, so we're doing the yellow 4 and the purple 2. The yellow 4. A group of brigands lurks around the Watchtower, harassing travelers and raiding caravans. We're the ones that set those caravans up. We can't have them doing that. The guildsmen of Pigskin Port ask you to deal with them without resorting to bloodshed. What? So we remove an encounter from the Highlands encounter deck, place a clue token on the Watchtower. When you move to that space, take the toll card from the mission deck. I'm looking through the Highlands encounters. We're looking for the toll card. We found it. And resolve it during the encounter phase. If you pay the toll, we need our money to invest in towns. Reduce the danger level at the Watchtower, then remove 1 clue from the board. All right, well, presumably the toll will be cheaper than the 20 gold you would normally have to pay. So basically, this card fires off at this location. Now, you'll note I'm looking at the card here. I'm about to read it. Some folks might prefer to play by just drawing the card and then keeping it off to the side and not reading it until they actually get to the encounter. And that's great for them. But I feel like I've played this enough. I recognize a lot of the encounters. I actually don't remember toll. Toll is you may pay Highland monsters in this space gold equal to double the monster's total experience point value. What if there are no monsters? I guess if you were to get an event, you would also necessarily draw monsters, right? None of them are 0. So basically, whenever we run into some folks at the Watchtower, we have to pay them double their experience point value, which tends to be from 1 to 2. I think it's just 1 to 2 initially in the decks. Once the deck depletes and you shuffle the discard back into the deck, you add these 3 value cards in there. So basically, we don't want to draw too many monsters. If you do, shuffle them back into the Highlands deck without the reward. So, all right, it's just a cheaper way to raise the danger level at the Watchtower. So that was our orange roll. Let's see what our purple roll is. A cursed object known to bring disaster has been found amongst a caravan's wares. The gangs need a group of brave travelers to take this dangerous artifact far away from the Highlands and cast it into the wilderness, hopefully never to be seen again. I don't like this idea of going far away from the highlands. So we are taking the goblin jar from the loot deck and the caravan card from the Highlands Encounters. The caravan card. Place a clue at the North Bridge. If you rest there, you may take the caravan from the mission deck and resolve it during the encounter phase. If you trade with the caravan, you can take the goblin jar from the mission deck at no cost. So basically go to the North Bridge here, encounter the caravan, get the goblin jar from it. Then the first time you discard the goblin jar while you are in the Badlands or Wetlands, put a clue at the bandit camp. If you're not at Skull Bridge or the Hell Pit when you discard the jar, shuffle it in with the top 6 cards of the loot deck, regardless. All right, so the goblin jar, I'll show you in a minute. It's an item that I think does nothing, but you can't get rid of it. It might be heavy. So we've basically got to carry it over here and get rid of it. So let's find the goblin jar. All right, a goblin jar. Let's reshuffle the loot deck while we look at the goblin jar. If you place this card into the discard pile, for any reason, increase the danger level in your space. Unless you're in a perilous space. All right. While you carry this item, your maximum luck is halved. Your maximum luck is your magic value. Don't think anyone's in danger of hitting their maximum luck. Yeah, that's not going to be an issue. So we want to meet the caravan at the North Bridge. Once we get it from the North Bridge, we have to carry it to the Skull Bridge or the Hell Pit. I don't know why you would go to the Hell Pit, which you have to go across the Skull Bridge and then along the blasted heath to get there. Why would you not just throw it into this crack here, which I guess is what we're doing. I suppose if you had, there are things called void gates that might open and you can teleport through them, or Void Witch would be great at that. So I suppose if one was open at the Hell Pit, maybe it would be easier to go there. So this is going to be a trip from here and then out to here for, and what happens when we do that? Next time you rest at the bandit camp, increase the town level there and remove the clue token. Now, you'll note, as I mentioned, we have to raise this to 2 and this to 2. That's 4 increments. Each of these quests is only going to give us 1 increment. So does that mean we have to get 60 gold for the other 3 increments in each town? Does that mean we have to grind until we get 120 gold? Basically, yes. But, and I think this is an issue with some of the mission scripting in this game, is I feel it wasn't very well thought out. So what I'm going to do, and it doesn't explain this, and I think some folks who've talked about this specific mission and have been frustrated with being left with no choice other than to grind gold until you get enough to pay to raise those levels. When I finish either of these missions, I'm going to roll a new one. So when that's done, we'll roll a new orange. When that's done, we'll roll a new purple. Cheating? Maybe. I like to think of it as modding. All right, so let me jot down some quick notes and then we'll begin. Okay, so off we go. The watchtower, easy enough. Go to the watchtower, resolve the toll, pay a little bit of money, lower the danger level by 1. Go to the North Bridge, get the goblin jar. So I'm a little bit confused in terms of what we're supposed to do with the goblin jar. First of all, let me show you the goblin jar. So I'm not sure why you would ever have this item. I guess maybe related to missions, but look, it costs 6, it's heavy. Characters can only carry 2 heavy things, and it halves the amount of luck that you get. It has no beneficial effect, so if you draw this from the loot deck, you're not going to buy it, and as far as I know, there's nothing on the card that says, hey, if you draw this, you're stuck with it. So here's what the quest has us doing. We have to discard this. If we discard this, someplace that's in the Badlands or the Wetlands, we can then go back to Bandit Camp, raise the town level, lower the danger level by 1. Now, if we discard this someplace that isn't Skull Bridge or the Hell Pit, then this gets shuffled back into the top of the deck, the top 6 cards of the loot deck, which means we're going to draw it at some point in the nearest future, which means, so what? If I draw it, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to take it. So, all right, so really I'm not sure what to make of this quest. Except that we're going to get stuck with it. We have to go get the Goblin Jar first from the caravan at the North Bridge. Then we're stuck with it. And I mean, I guess using the mod that I have applied to this particular scenario, we can't roll another yellow quest until we finish this one, which necessarily involves getting rid of this and then going back to the bandit camp and telling them, hey, that Goblin Jar, we got rid of it for you. For our map action, we are going to fast travel from Pigskin Port along this explored road. Although it's a road, it doesn't even have to be explored for us to fast travel. Paths have to be explored for you to fast travel. We're going to fast travel down here to the watchtower. We are drawing against a danger level of 2. I actually want to run into monsters so that we can kill them and lower this danger level. Unfortunately, that will not be happening because I drew a 4, so we were too successful at avoiding danger. If I use Hunt, I could have lowered this number, but we can't get within range of a 4. Now, remember this? That plague outbreak just is getting worse in the lowlands. We don't want to go there if we can help it. Whoops, that's an inoculation. We add 1 plague everywhere there's a plague. There's 1. We're just going to flip this to a 3. And now we roll a d6 for where a new outbreak of the plague is. A 3 is the Holy Order. These are fellows that can actually help you cure the plague. Again, this is not raising the danger level. We're getting kind of lucky there. What these plague tokens mean is when you rest there, if your recovery roll's lowest number is equal to or below the number of tokens, then you get the plague. And you don't want the plague because for every plague token that you have, you heal 1 fewer wound when you rest. So I think that means we don't have an encounter, so therefore we don't get no monsters jump us and demand that we pay the toll. I mean, we're showing up to pay the toll, to appease, we're showing up to appease these brigands. Now, we didn't meet any monsters, we didn't have an encounter. However, according to the scenario rules, when we move to the watchtower during the encounter phase, we resolve toll instead of any random encounter we would have drawn, and we didn't draw one, so we just resolve toll. Your assailants are collecting payment for something they call road safety insurance. The party may pay Highland monsters in this space gold pieces equal to double those monsters' experience point value. If you do, shuffle them back into the Highlands monsters deck. The experience point value of monsters in this space is 0. I mean, I guess the intent is if I don't encounter monsters, nothing's going to happen. So the rules as written would be I pay 0 gold and resolve this card. But I'm guessing the intent is I have to encounter some monsters. So I've got a couple of options. I could just hang around here until I draw an encounter, which is going to have to necessarily be a 3 or lower, given the safety level, the danger level of the watchtower is 2. I could take this value on the card that I drew. Man, I don't know what to do, but this exactly gets to the problem with this scenario, where you just have to run around and hope to get encounters to lower the danger level. All right, I guess we're just hunting monsters. So I resolve that encounter. I mean, again, okay, obviously the design intent, there are going to have to be monsters, so I'm going to have to pay some gold. If there are no monsters, then there's nothing to take toll, so let's just say it doesn't happen. And that was the end of that turn's encounter phase. Now we're going to rest boldly at the watchtower and hope we draw some monsters. It's really frustrating. Nope, we did not. We avoided them all too well. And, oh my God, reshuffle the danger deck. You guys saw me shuffle this. You saw me do the whole thing where I counted out multiple stacks. Oh, we rested, sorry. So we're indoors resting, which means the fugitive fop doesn't have to roll her recovery. What else would we do when we're resting? We can't look for herbs because we are indoors. We are at a settlement. So the fugitive fop will do a puppet show. I don't know why I persist in calling it a puppet show. She's using her agility. I mean, yeah, you have to be agile to do puppets, I guess. But it's more like acrobatics. Breakdancing, we'll say. So the fugitive fop does breakdancing. She makes her agility check. If she passes, we gain gold equal to the lowest die. Her agility is 8. She did not pass. Once again, an embarrassing show on the fugitive fop's part. All right, other options for resting. No, the black market skill, when you're at a settlement, draw a card from the loot deck. If it's an ally item or service, you may purchase it. Let's just see what our options are here. Poison darts. And we don't have a dart rifle for it. All right, well, we won't be buying those. Drawing again, hoping to get, and we're in bold stance. Ugh. The Void Hound pops up. So during the encounter phase, we run into the Void Hound. Does that mean the Void Hound is, we can pay the toll to the Void Hound? When you draw a danger card that reads your current space, you must fight the Void Hound along with any other monsters that attack. And it always targets you. Thematically, it's not Brigands showing up to demand a toll. And what this is going to do is we're going to kill the Void Hound, we're going to lower the danger level to 1, and it's going to be that much harder to draw a danger card to encounter monsters. All right, so here's the Void Hound, and frankly, this is the sort of thing that makes me just lose interest in the game. If they can't script missions well enough when they make this game, and as I've mentioned before, there are issues like this in other missions, what am I doing wasting my time with this? It's a little harsh, wasting my time. It's a little harsh to put it that way. I enjoy the way the map evolves. I really like the artwork. I like the tone of it. The snappy combat is, you know, it's gratifying enough, but I shouldn't be getting stuck with scripting issues like this. All right, so again, I'm just going to go with, normally I would go with the rules as written, because normally I have confidence in the people who make a game. I can't say that I have that confidence in the folks who made Dungeon Degenerates. So rather than going with the rules as written, I am now stuck playing, what did the developers intend? What do they mean? What were they trying to get at? And I'm going to say that this is not what they were trying to get at, is they wanted me to go to the Watchtower, draw an encounter with Highlands monsters, and then pay them off to finish that toll encounter. So I'm going to fight the Void Hound. I'm going to beat it. I'm going to drop the danger level of the Watchtower to 1, and then I'm going to have to sit there trying to raise the... I mean, with this a 1, I'm just going to be sitting here drawing until I get a 1 or a 2. And at this point, I guess it comes down to paying my way around the danger level. So this is now a... So this is now, I did the math wrong previously, there's no 0. This is now a 60 gold piece sink for me to finish this quest. All right, well, let's just let's take out our frustration on the stupid Void Hound. It targets the Void Witch. If we're in bold stance, which we are, we get ambushed. That's a perception roll. Otherwise, we lose our power die. Perception of 8. Oh, jeez, Pete. Perception of 8 passes. Perception of 8 passes. A perception of 7 passes. So the Void Hound doesn't ambush anyone. The Fugitive Fop begins with the weighted pistol. We want to even load Silver Shock, so we have to discard it if we get a 12. It's good against undead and lycanthropes. It ignores. All right, there's no point keeping that loaded. The default state for the Silver Shot will be unloaded. Rolling against her agility of 8. Oh, and she's in assault mode so that I could use the Deadeye Shot if necessary. She makes it. 5 points of damage. Ignores 1 point of armor, so that's 5 points of damage applied. Over to the Void Witch. I mean, we'll just defend because I'd rather not take wounds if I can avoid it. Using the Barbed Whip, an agility of 8 for attacking, an agility of 8 for defending. I'm not even worried about the Mystic Shield at this point. So successfully defended 2 points, which means she'll take 3 points of damage, hit for 4 points of damage, and killed it. So she takes 3 wounds. Which, big whoop, we're going to sit here resting forever trying to find people to pay the toll. She doesn't use the Sacrificial Dagger, so doesn't heal up a point, but she gets 2 experience points and 2 gold. So, do this, 30 more times, and then we can afford to pay off the Watchtower. A loot roll of 2, no loot. The encounter phase, we don't have an encounter because we didn't run into any danger. All right. So here's where I want to know. Oh, raise the danger level in your current space. So here's what happens. It goes to 3, then it lowers to 2 because we fought the Void Hound. I keep forgetting that with the Void Hound card. So actually, here's something I don't quite know. What is the distribution of danger levels, of numbers in this danger level deck? It can't just be evenly 1 to 6, right? Looking through here, 2s, 3. All right, I'm going to do something that normally I wouldn't do in the middle of a game, but I'm just really frustrated here. I'm going to break down the distribution of this deck. Which cards will fire off on a 1 or 2. How many of these total cards? So bear with me here. All right, there are basically 40 cards in this deck. 15 of them will allow us to have an encounter if the danger level is 1 or 2. Another 5 of them, basically half of the cards, will allow us to have an encounter if we're in bold stance and we successfully hunt. So let's rest here, get the danger level down to 1 by defeating monsters, and then get the town level up to 1 by paying the toll, and then we'll just have to pay another 20 to raise the town level to 2. So I guess not as bad as I initially thought, but just this whole idea of resolving how to pay the toll is still really annoying. Oh, by the way, we've lost these. All right, make sure to give these a good shuffle because we're going to be sitting here drawing from the danger deck for a while. Technically, I forgot to roll for fatigue after fast traveling here, but I would have shaken it off with my first rest action. All right, we're resting here. we're trying to draw a number, a 1 or a 2 will give us an encounter. A 3, we can do a hunt action, which involves rolling perception. So statistically, actually, here's an interesting question. I think I have to announce beforehand who's hunting. Does it behoove me to have all 3 of them roll, or just one of the 8s? And again, I don't know quite how to math this out. Well, we'll worry about it based on what we draw. Here we go. Raise the danger level. Gee. I am shuffling this, I promise. So you'll note that didn't range the danger level anywhere. It wasn't enough for us to have an encounter. Our rest at the settlement. The fugitive fop will do a puppet show. Oh my God. She's the worst. I mean, look at that. I'm talking Elizabeth Berkley and Showgirls worst. What is up with that? All right, we have reshuffled that. That's another turn. We didn't encounter anything. Therefore, we don't, during the danger phase, therefore during the encounter, we don't fight monsters, so we can't pay the toll. I guess we could draw for the black market, but I don't even really want, well, you know what, let's just find out. So the black market, draw from the loot deck. A blunderbuss, gonna cost 12 gold, which even if this is awesome, I can't afford to spend 12 gold. I'm gonna have to pay it to raise the town levels. So like the arquebus, you can only attack with it every other turn. Roll 2d6, inflict damage equal to the highest die on your target. Oh, you're not even rolling against a stat, you're just rolling 2d6. That's nice. But I will not be spending 12 gold on it. Next turn. There we go. All right, the stone circle, the danger level raises there. Which, oh yeah, look, it's the town. So the danger level raising means the town actually decreases. Horrid swamp creatures raid and vandalize the sacred megaliths of the stone circle. How dare they? There's an encounter symbol on the danger draw, but we don't resolve a random encounter. We're instead going to resolve this toll. We draw 2 monsters. 1, 2. And this will determine the price that we have to pay. The Stilt Drek has an experience point value of 1, so that's going to cost us 2 gold. The Belligerent Hooligan, experience point value of 1 as well, going to cost us 2 gold. So we can't just fight them and lower the danger level that way, which I would prefer to do, but we will pay them off, so that's 4 gold. We'll just have the Void Witch pay from 11 down to 7. These are shuffled back into the deck, and since we resolved the toll encounter, this is removed, and this goes to a 1. All right, well, the good news is we're going to roll another orange die quest. So maybe we'll get something that'll help us do that more readily. Here we go, re-rolling a 4. A 1. Oh, shoot a monkey.